Staying with us, Africans in the diaspora have an estimated spending power of $4 trillion. The African Union recognizes the diaspora as the continent's sixth regional economic bloc. This is why the Door of Our Return campaign hopes to establish ties with African leaders and businesses. A delegation from the United States and the Caribbean is visiting Ghana and South Africa to establish lasting partnerships that will benefit Africa's development. Let's now cross live there.
When we complain, because part of our malaise as black South Africans is that we are afraid to be shamed. If you are standing for what is true, it doesn't matter who calls you out and says, oh, there she goes again being rebellious. You are fighting for a cause that is real, that indeed is going to empower the majority of our people. So let's get out there and do it for ourselves, because nobody else is going to do it. It starts with us. And we've got to feel the pain enough to want to change the situation. Thank you.
Mr. Fraser said it, you must be angry enough. We must be angry enough. Go ahead, sir.
Shimani Mashehu here. Malcolm X said once, the African Americans are not outnumbered, they are out-organized. And unfortunately, it's the same for us over here. We are encouraged to make good quality products. You're encouraged to go to banks, to whoever, to get money so you can make this quality product, and all the other things go with it. Then you must fight for shelf space, for actually they say market access. That market access is shelf space, where at Pick and Pay, Macro, and the like, they are the market. So if they are the market, why can't we be the market? Now, I think we're starting with product instead of with distribution. Many of us should drop the idea of products and actually go to distribution. You become the market. Then you are favorable towards the products of other black people. Then the conversation will change, because once you've got the market, nobody will disrespect you. You're fighting racism with that. You're fighting all other ills that we're talking about. I've been bothering some of you with the food market that's about to come up. I need your assistance, please. We are going to revolutionize the food industry. From the processing part of it, seeds, every single thing you can think of food, poultry, fish, wine, everything. Our wine farmers, they buy farms in Stellenbosch. They put all their savings in it. They try to sell, nobody buys. Why? Because the cartels close them down. Now, we need to have a process that includes the Competition Commission up front so they can fight the cartel on our behalf, not after the effect. So I'm coming back to you and say, please hear me out. What I'm coming with here is not just a product, please fund me here. We're talking about a revolution here that will be taken and plant in other industries as well. And I'm coming to you as well, Doc. Thank you very much.
Ready to serve. Two more, we're done. Ready to serve. Yes, Mama? It's the last one there. So are we ready with the teas up there? Sharp. Okay.
We all saying this should be where we take action. So let us as Africans start taking action. How are we going to change that we're buying? I mean, if we're saying black people are the most consumers, how is that going to change? How is the narrative going to change if you're not investing the money? Where's the education that? We need to start sharing in terms of, yesterday there was an interest rate announcement. How many of us know what the interest rates are? So we can't even have wealth creation discussions if we as Africans are not educated in terms of the financial products that we can use. We always talk about financial inclusion. What's financial inclusion without wealth creation? So let's start changing the narrative. African banks and all of us getting loans. What are loans if you can't even negotiate the interest rate terms that you'll be getting? So we're still going back. If we don't improve the financial education and the financial gap that exists in terms of our understanding, nothing is going to change. The narrative is still going to be the same. Banks are not meant for us. We need to change the narrative. If they're saying they're giving you 28%, here you are, good idea, bankable, we're going to give you 28% on the rate, on the interest that you, on the loan that you're getting. How is that going to make your business successful when prime is only at 10? So those are the education gaps that we need to start filling in. We can cry about loans, but how are they going to serve us? So I design financial education programs. And let's start designing intentional financial education programs. I come from asset management. I know how money is managed. We know how. Let us collectively come together and say, what is a program that we can put together to make sure that everyone transitions properly? We're talking about entrepreneurs. Those entrepreneurs are not going to survive. They're not. We're not transitioning everyone properly into the financial system. Nothing that we're going to be saying here and saying, I want loans, nothing is going to happen because the mindset hasn't changed. We're still consumers. Now you become an entrepreneur. How does that change? It doesn't change because you're still a consuming entrepreneur. Let's change the narrative and the financial gap that we have.
Thank you. Now, I'm a man of action, you know. Can people come and see you on how to do that? Because we can talk. You see, most people know I can. Already I'm going to get ticket. We do. Now, people know me. We write books on financial intelligence, starting from the young people, parents, whatever. So I know one of my team members is looking at you. Let's do it. Because we need to understand money. In fact, let me also promote, at the end of the session, you do have a book called The School of Money. It's a 700-page, exactly what you said. But the problem with black people, they don't buy. They want a gift. So let me... No. I'm not going to give... You're going to buy that book. So thank you so much for mentioning that. The front part, it says, L-idea, let's all do it. I like that. Mr. Fraser, let's close this and then I'll give them the closing remarks. You started this thing and you said we must be honest. So the bottom line is, while we appreciate people from overseas, we need to understand we've got issues here. It's nonsense that Miss Maki Mandela, forget Helene, I'm talking about powerhouse as she is, she cannot bring money from Nigeria. Why not? If it's tainted money, due diligence are made, but who qualifies where money is coming from? From the banks. Yes, legal banks. And then you've got the HSBC, with due respect, who are found guilty with mafia money. Then they are slapped with 5 billion, and we cannot be able to do that. For them, it was irregularities, but here it's called fraud. We need to change some of this narrative, guys. We need to change that. Mr. Fraser, then I'm going to give them the closing remarks.
Put on your calendar for next year a New Year's resolution that you will spend at least 10 to 12 hours per week for the rest of your life cultivating, nurturing, and building relationships at work, at home, and in the community. And I promise you, if you do that, your life will change. Introduce me to your 5 closest friends, and that will tell me who you are. As they know, and as they go, so go you. If you're hanging out with 5 broke people, within a year, you'll be the 6th broke person. I'll save the rest of my comments for my talk.
Thank you. Words of wisdom. Final thoughts, Baba, before we break for tea. Final thoughts, and then we'll give all of you final thoughts.
I think to go fast, they say you have to go alone. If you want to go very far, take the rest with you. I think we are a big continent. We are very influential. Let's sweat the power that we have. Most of it is sitting in our hands. It's not very far from our hands. Use it. I think mourning and complaining will not take us very far. Let's, in the same way that sometimes when we are not happy with something, especially South Africans, you don't do like my Zimbabwean brothers. We tend to go around things. South Africans can push things through. Let's apply that force and that wisdom and a bit of that VOOV. We'll get things moving. Thank you.
Let's give Norman a wonderful round of applause. You're staying so people can talk to you now. You know me, I'm a now person, now. So you'll be their strategist. Great, brother. Did you bring your books, yes or no?
It's online.
It's online, okay? Prajo, you brought your books on success. They are available. Thank you. Brother, the question, how many black people own... You thought I forgot it. I didn't forget, my friend. I don't forget
it. That.
Yeah. How many black people own shares?
So at this point in time, if I may just answer that question. But before I go there, can I make a comment here? And Mrs. Mandela, thank you for that. I really concur with what you say. I think that's needful. We can have all the plans in the world. If we don't go back to the drawing board and change the rules and regulations to try and suit us and to try and make it conducive for us to have access to markets, it's never going to happen. I personally believe, and this is not from the bank side, I personally believe that we may be politically free, but economically we're still in bondage. And it's something that we need to address going forward. However, let me answer the question for the gentleman regarding the shareholding.
That very interesting conversation coming up.